All right, guys. So what did y'all think about that game right there? The
It
hula
was
hoop game?
crazy. It's kind of fun.
It was
Yeah,
fun.
I thought it was fun.
cool.
It was fun. It was pretty challenging though.
I thought it was fun too.
Cool. So the whole idea behind this game was to show y'all how we deal and work with challenges and how we face them. So the whole idea of the game was to get one big hula hoop through all of y'all with y'all's hands held together like a big old chain without breaking those chains. So that's kind of like how sometimes that happens in life with us, right? There's kind of barriers that we have to go through, obstacles that we face. And y'all kind of had talked about that last session when y'all talked about y'all's beginning experiences of experiencing homelessness. And last session, I know they talked to you about housing opportunities and resources for that. Today, we're going to talk about our dreams and education. So we all have experiences where, these barriers may put a stop to our dreams, or we think they do. Most importantly, though, we just need to remember, kind of like this game, one key term that we want to use is resiliency. Okay, so do y'all know what resiliency is?
Kind
I
of.
don't know what that is.
A little bit, okay. How many of y'all heard that word before in any of y'all's sessions or anywhere else? A little
I mean,
bit.
I've heard it before, but
Okay. All right. So just kind of broadly, what resiliency is, it's when we have the ability to withstand adversity and when we bounce back from that difficult life event. So
That's big words. Can you just put it smaller words?
smaller, yeah, for sure. So it's basically being able to stand up and bounce back from life events that are trying to keep you down. Okay, so a good example of this is y'all, for example, before coming to this shelter, y'all were living in different areas. You may have been living in a car, you may have been living in the streets, you have been maybe couch surfing and just living with friends. But y'all bounced back from that, right? And y'all are now here. So that right there is a good example of resiliency. Now, remember that before we started the game, I also asked y'all a question about your dreams growing up. So I want to share with you one of my dreams when I had growing up before I became a counselor. And that dream was to become an astronaut. How many of y'all ever thought about being an astronaut when y'all grew up? Some of y'all, no? So I wanted to be an astronaut because the stars, space, traveling in a big old rocket ship, okay? So I asked y'all to think about y'all's dreams because that's what we're going to talk about today, your dreams, and then also education and how those two are tied together, okay? So what I want you to do right now on the paper that you have in front of you, go ahead and write down two of your dreams. And then if you can just raise your hand when you're done. Okay, cool. Good. All right. Is anyone still working on that? All right. Let me see your hands one more time if you're ready, if you're done. Cool. Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask who would like to share first.
I can share.
Okay. Go ahead, Monse.
So it's to become a doctor and to own my own home.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Those are good dreams. Definitely, definitely. Awesome. All right. Anyone else like to share? Jeanette, I saw you raise up your hand.
This is Aracelis. What I wanted to do, I wanted to be a microbiologist because I want to get rid of diseases. And I'm in the same boat with my classmate because I definitely want to own my own home in the
Good.
future.
Those are good goals. Definitely. Thank you. All right. Anyone else like to share?
I can share.
All right, Brian.
One of my dreams is to be rich and to also help other people that are homeless.
Cool. All right. Aaron and Jewel, y'all want to share?
Yeah, I put that like I want to be a mechanic, like a car mechanic, because I think if you could fix cars and you can help people out and keep them on the move, that's really awesome. Plus, we're always gonna have cars. And then the other one I picked was same as Brian, is the be rich part, so I don't have
Awesome.
broken on the streets.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. And then Joel.
My
Would you like
goal
to-
is to be a teacher and then to own my own coffee shop.
Awesome. Okay. So these are some awesome goals that y'all have, right? So let's talk about that, what y'all wrote down. How do we get there? Okay. And that's part of what this week's session is about, is education and getting to those goals. All right. Now I'm going to share with you real quick what y'all went over last session. Give me just a second to get this up. Okay, so on your screen, you should see this template that says SMART goals. I'll see that? Okay. So really on here, this SMART goals template that y'all talked about last session talks about setting goals, right? And your goals, number one, they have to be specific. All right. They have to be measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So let's talk about that just a little bit more when it comes to education. So think about what y'all said right now, what y'all wanted to be when y'all grew up. So Aaron, you said a mechanic, right? So let's start off right here looking at this SMART goals template with your goal of becoming a mechanic.
Right.
That's your goal. That's your specific goal. Now, what are you going to do to become a mechanic? What steps do you need to take to become a mechanic? Do you know those steps?
I mean, I guess I have to be trained as one, but is there a school, or do I just go to at a mechanic place and just say I want to work for y'all?
Cool. Yeah. So those are questions to ask. Okay. So a good thing that I've been trained to do, and by my mentors and friends, is write these goals down. Okay. So on your paper, go ahead and you can write down little notes about this. So you want to become a mechanic, and write those questions down. Do I need to get trained? Where do I go? Okay. Write those down. And for all of y'all, other people, Brian, Joel, Monte, Aracelis, y'all write down questions you have about your goal. So Monte becoming a doctor, write those down. Okay.
Like what kind, like do we answer the questions right there on the
No,
specific-
you don't have to answer all of them.
Oh,
This is
okay.
just kind of going back to what we talked about last session about SMART goals.
Okay.
So, but with any goal setting, it's good to write them down so that way you can keep focus on them. Okay. So this is one that they should have given you. I'll give you this at the end as well that you can have. So you want to become a mechanic, Aaron. So we need to find out what does it take to become a mechanic, right? So that's one of the questions that we have. The next one on here talks about, is it achievable? So can you become a mechanic, Aaron?
I think so. I know a lot of idiots who are mechanics and they do pretty good. And I'm not exactly smart, but I could probably turn a wrench.
Okay, cool. But there's a lot of training, right, that you need to do first? Okay, cool. And then relevant. I know you mentioned that there's always cars that are going to be needed that break down that need a mechanic. So that's pretty relevant, right? It's an important job, right? Being a mechanic, because there's, you see a lot of people driving cars. And then, so right now where you're at in your life, how long do you think it'll take to become a mechanic?
I don't know. I mean, how long does it take to go to all that school and I guess to get a job? I don't know.
All right. So let's write that down on your paper there. How long does it take? So for each of you as well, write down on your paper how long you think it's going to take to become whatever you wrote down, and whether it was a doctor.
Doesn't mine take like 10 years?
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's too long.
but it's gonna be worth it at the end, right? To reach that goal, that dream.
Sure. Yes.
All right.
I already know mine. Mine is gonna take 13 years because it's 7 years of, you gotta get your bachelor's degree, then you gotta get a master's, then you gotta go to medical school. That's 4 years, and then you still got 3 more years as a infectious disease type of doctor. So that's already 13 years on my book.
Yeah. So Adesanya, you seem like you've already done some research on this, right?
I have.
Good, good, good. So this is what this SMART goals template does, really. It helps you to see what your goal is on paper, but also lets you see what steps you need to take to get to that goal of yours, right? And so what I want to talk to you right now part is the educational part, okay? How many of y'all want to go to college, a university, a trade school, or something like that? Raise your hands. Okay, cool. How many of y'all don't want to go to college, trade school, or anything like that?
I mean, I don't want to go to college, but if I have to go to school to learn how to do the job, I guess I have to.
Okay, cool. And so that's this session. That's what we want to talk about, the educational part. Not everyone has to
I'm
go to school.
frozen. Are you guys seeing me frozen, or is it just me?
No, I think you're fine, Aracelis.
Oh.
Did you see me raise my hand?
No, but go ahead, tell me.
I'm raising my hand right now. Can you see that?
Now I can, yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I'm just checking.
Okay, did you have a question for me?
No, I don't.
Okay. So as I mentioned with school, not all of us want to go to school. Not all of us maybe want to go that route. But in order to get to that dream of yours, you may have to go to school. Okay. So what are some resources we can use about school? Like, how do we know where to go to school? Do we know what it takes to fill out an application for school? How do we pay for school?
Well, I could go like to the mechanic shop just down the street and say, where do I start? Maybe they could say, well, this is where you need to go first.
Good. Those are good things to do. Yes. So let me ask you this, Monte. I know you mentioned you want to become a doctor. Have you talked to any doctors about becoming a doctor?
No.
I have.
Okay. You have, Aracelis?
Yes, I have.
Where was this at that you talked to the doctor at? If you don't
I
mind
went
sharing.
to my University of Texas Medicine because, the situation that's going on with my mom. And, because she has, like I said, organs shutting down and that kind of stuff. And they told me that I have to, because obviously I'm poor, that there's a lot of opportunities for me to go through a counselor at my school. And I talked to my counselor at the school, and she gave me great options for me to be able to apply for financial aid. She also discussed with me about applying for grant money. I don't know what that is, but she says free money. So I'm all about free money, I guess, because I need everything, help I can get, especially when my mom is not going to be around, and kind of stuff like that.
All right. Let me ask y'all this. Have anyone besides myself right now, has anyone talked to you about filling out papers for college or school? No. Okay.
No.
So this is one thing that we're going to get for y'all to do before y'all leave the sessions. And once we're done, we're going to make sure we provide you those resources. Okay. So this is where I'm going to follow up with the school to make sure, and the center where we're at, to make sure that we can get y'all some representatives from some of the local community colleges to come on here. Okay. To talk to you about how to fill out the financial aid forms. So let me ask you this. I know Brian and Aaron, y'all mentioned about getting rich, right? So why do y'all want to become rich?
Then you could buy whatever you want. You can get your own house. You can get your own car.
Cool.
So I don't have to be homeless anymore?
Cool. Okay. All right. So I like what you said there, Brian, about not becoming homeless anymore. So remember, our whole goal with our sessions is to give y'all the resources y'all need so that way we can end the cycle of homelessness, right? I know some of y'all, this isn't the first time y'all are here. I know Aaron, at the very beginning of our sessions, when we first started, you mentioned that this was the second time you were here. And I know you shared that openly with the class, so everyone knows that. But we're trying to provide you the resources and the tools that you need so that way we can get a future for all of us where we can end our homelessness, right? So yes, that's a good goal to have, becoming rich. But also I think what you may want to look at is being able to provide the things that you need, right? Being able to have a roof over your head. I know Araceli and Monse mentioned about buying a house. So these are all things that are capable of doing, right? It just takes a little bit of work. And by being here at the center, that's one of the biggest steps you can do, okay? Now, how many of y'all have been told about college before in your life? Before right now? None of y'all? Have y'all had anyone in your family go to college? No? Okay. All right. You feel like it's a big step for y'all to do that? Yeah. What are some of the things that maybe you're a little weary of or afraid of?
Think overwhelming. Like, what if I fail a class or something? Do they kick me out or
Mhm.
stuff
Okay.
like that?
Costs
All
a
right,
lot of
Joe.
money, right?
Some schools do cost money, Brian. However, can I be honest with y'all?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, like we have been. I don't want that to stop you from going to school, and this is the reason why. Y'all know what scholarships are? No. Okay.
No.
It's like free money to go to school, right? Something like that.
Yes.
Free money.
Yeah.
Do we have to pay that money back though?
No. So scholarships, there's different types of money that you can get to go to school. One of them is scholarships, which y'all know that this center provides scholarships to each and every one of y'all that complete the sessions.
That's pretty sweet.
That's cool.
Okay.
No.
Surprise.
Awesome.
All right. So we didn't tell you that at the very beginning because we wanted you to make sure that you stayed in the sessions. So this provides scholarship money for y'all to attend school. But there's also grants out there. Grants are other money that you can get to attend a school that you want. And this is money you don't have to pay back. Okay. So our goal here is if you do want to go to school, college, a community college, or even a trade school to become a mechanic, Aaron wants to become, we can find you those schools, and we have a lot of resources that help us to get our students like y'all into those programs. Okay. Does that make y'all feel a little bit better? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's hopeful. Brings a lot of hope to like my situation.
Cool. So let me ask you this now. Now knowing about what you want to, what your dream is to become when you grow up, knowing that there's some resources out there for you, there's some paths that you have to walk, you know, some little goal setting. How do y'all feel now knowing that we can get you all there and like help you get there?
I
Thankful.
feel very hopeful.
Mhm.
Hopeful. Good. What other words would y'all think about this besides hopeful?
Thankful.
Thankful. Good. Okay. Now, can I say one more word that we talked about earlier, which was resilient? Okay. So think about that word as y'all consider y'all's careers and what school you want to go to, what dream job you want, and think about that a lot because y'all already shown that y'all have a lot of resiliency because of what y'all have already gone through. Okay. So that tells me that y'all are ready for the next step, which is looking at education, trade school, achieving your dreams. Okay. All right. How does that make y'all feel now? Better?
It makes me feel
Excited.
good.
Yes.
Yeah, excited. But what if I suck? What if I don't do good in school?
There's always help. There's going to be people like me there at these schools. that are going to be looking out for you, helping you. A lot of it is just asking for help, and it's okay to ask for help. Okay. Any other questions right now?
So you're gonna just give us the information for like the scholarships and stuff, or what?
Yes, at the very end of all our sessions, we're going to get y'all connected with all the resources you need, the colleges, the trade schools. Yes, Joel.
So then, are we have to get like the grants and the scholarships first before we apply, so we can pay for it, or what comes first?
So normally you're going to apply for schools that you think that you want to go to. Okay, remember I mentioned the college professionals, they're going to come out, talk to y'all sometime throughout the year while y'all are here at the center. And that's separate from these sessions, okay? But they'll come out here, make sure you visit them. They have resources for you. They'll help you fill out the paperwork for the school, the financial aid assistance for the scholarships and grants. And then obviously, once you complete our sessions here, you'll also get those scholarships as well, okay? Okay, I hope that makes it easier for y'all.
That's badass.
Yeah, cool. All right.
That's awesome.
All right. Cool. Do y'all have any other questions for me? All right. So what I want you to do for y'all's homework is make sure y'all go home and think about your goals a little bit more. Use that SMART template that y'all got from the last session. Look at that. And then next session, we'll kind of do a little recovery on that, see what y'all thought about, and then we'll talk about our session 3 next week. All right. All right, guys. Thank y'all for coming today. I hope you have a good weekend. Y'all stay safe, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.